Hey everyone, my name is Sam. Thanks for checking out this video. If you get to the end and liked it, then subscribe, bell notification, and give the video a thumbs up. Sorry I missed last week. I just didn't feel like physically well. Had a pounding headache, and then just I thought I had food poisoning for one of the days. It was just a mess of a week, and honestly, I've just been not having a great reading month. Everything to do with reading just seems very like a lot of effort and work, and I'm just not into it. So, but I'm feeling better now, and I'm in a bit better of a reading mood, I guess, and I'm talking too loud. Sherlock's giving me a glare. It's not like you don't just sleep all day anyways. You can just chill out for a little bit. And yeah, I kind of can't believe it's like almost, what is it? It's like the third week of June now, and we're doing the May wrap up. I just caught behind on shit. So we're going to do a wrap up for the month of May. May was middle grade May, so I went through a ton of books actually. And a lot of good ones. So this is roundup. We'll do a spotlight, and then anything we did this month. What did we do in the month? I did a baby. The baby. Yeah, okay. May was his birthday month too. The baby is 8 now. You're 8 years old! Which I can't believe because I got him in undergrad. It's been that long. Good grief. So starting off this month, I read the minor third as well as the fourth suit, which is book 3 and 4 in the Magical Misfit series, and wrapped it all up. It very, very cute, very sweet, and I love just like the rest of the books that this whole series that he always has like breaks in between kind of chapters, and then teaches magic tricks and that sort of stuff with like sleight of hand and everything. So this would be really, really appealing, I think, to just children, any of them that are interested in magic, especially. So, and I read Ancestor Approved. This is the anthology by Cynthia Litch-Smythe from the Heart Drum imprint. It is an anthology of several different stories from different authors, all kind of centered around the same large powwow event. And it was really cute, very sweet. I liked all of the different geography that was covered, like because there are Indigenous people from all over the place. I really don't think people comprehend that an awful lot. And then they just come from different backgrounds socioeconomically. Some of them stay with their blood family. Some of them are raised by guardians, kind of family friends. Some of them are completely adopted out. So I feel like this covered just so many different areas that I would have a hard time thinking of someone who wouldn't be able to see themselves in at least one of their stories, which I think is incredibly important for Indigenous characters. So this was really fun. It's super fast to get. Then I picked up The Magnificent Monsters of Cedar Street by Lauren Oliver. She definitely is an author. I'm just going to like kind of default assume I want to read all of her middle grade books. Her YA stuff just doesn't seem to appeal to me, but her middle grade stuff is so good. I really, really, really liked the main character in this. She's very, very smart and determined, and just the general message as well too was very good, and I think is very relevant to today on how we treat people who are different, and people who are maybe not natural born, and people who are not white in the Western world. So this was an excellent read, and there's a lot of messages in here. And I randomly picked up The Witch Boy. Wasn't totally expecting to read that this month, but just ended up reading it, and it's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. I love the artist. Is just the illustrations in this are gorgeous, and I really like the message. Our main character is supposed to kind of slot under in this magic system. Women learn certain things and boys learn another thing. And technically he's a boy, but he is more interested in the women's magic, and then ends up being able to do women's magic, which kind of goes against the norms. And I'm definitely probably going to try and find ways to sneak in the rest of the series throughout the rest of the year. It was really cute, and the author or illustrator, Molly something, I can't remember her name, has a new book that just came out. It's like The Girl in the Sea or The Girl in the Ocean, and it looks cute as well. So I'm going to keep following that name. I picked up Palo Santiago and The River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. I didn't love it as much as I was hoping I was going to. but it's definitely by no means bad. I think it was just a little bit slower pace for my liking. I don't know if I'll read the second book, to be totally honest, but this is by no means a bad read. I just didn't love it as much as I was hoping to, especially since how much I loved We Set the Dark on Fire from this author. And in a weird twist, I took a break from middle grade reading and read The Roommate. Don't know why that happened, just I did. The Roommate was surprisingly really good. It's a very different plot than all of the middle grade books I was reading. The main character kind of on a whim drops her life in New York or something like that and moves to California to be with this guy that she thinks something's going to happen. They've been best friends like their whole lives, and everyone thinks that they're just going to end up together, and she shows up and then he's like, oh yeah, sorry, my band like just got this gig last minute, so you can just crash my house, but I'll be gone all summer. Oh, and by the way, I sublet my room to a stranger that you don't know. Cool, dude. Sounds great. And that person ends up being a porn star, and it kind of goes on from there. It's a very interesting read. I did actually enjoy it. It was just a very big veer off from what I was reading before. Then I picked up All Systems Red, which was, again, another break from the middle grade, but this was really, really cool. This was really cool. I really liked everything about this. Novellas just seem to be hitting different for some reason, because I used to just not like them because they didn't give me enough world or politics or everything, but like the last year and a half, this is just kind of another example of like really well written novellas. And it reminded me an awful lot of This Is How You Lose the Time War, which is like easily one of the best books. That book still sits in my brain. That's like one of the best books, honestly, I've probably ever read. It's still in my brain. So this is not as good as This Is How You Lose the Time War, but it gave me similar vibes. I really liked it. I also picked The Last Fallen Star by Gracie Kim. This is her debut work, and it's from the Rick Riordan imprint. It was really cute, actually. I really, really, really liked it. And I think if you're anyone who, in any capacity, enjoys Korean entertainment, I think you'll kind of appreciate it. The main character, has a lot of conflict going on, but she kind of keeps making pop culture references. And there's... in order to like unlock to get into their like kind of like temple where the magic stuff is, they have to do the password is like them singing Fake Love by BTS, which I had a good chuckle at. But it's a really cute book, and I'm definitely going to see what comes out next. There's definitely a setup for a sequel in this. It was really, really cute and sweet, and I liked it. Then I picked up the Accent Apprentice. This is one that I hyped up so much. Good grief, so much to myself. It didn't meet exactly my expectations, but it was quite good. So I ended up giving like a 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely will keep on going with the series. There's 4 books now scheduled for this. There were 2, and then the author sold 2 more within this world. So I'm definitely really curious. I want to do a reread of this though before, or like when the second book comes out, because I just don't feel like I retained an awful lot of it just because of the headspace I was in when I read it. But this was really, really cool. I really liked the characters and the kind of the whole like tournament thing that happens in here. I don't know how to explain it. But it was really, really good. I really did like it. I just overhyped it in my brain. Then I picked up To Love and to Loathe by Martha Waters. This is set in the same series as To Have and to Hoax. To Have and to Hoax was like one of the best books that I've ever read in a really, really long time. Historical romances and comedy are not things that I find myself finding books that work really really well for me, but just in general I don't think there's an awful lot of them, but To Have and to Hoax just like hit that sweet spot. This was not by any means nearly as good. I just feel like I got way more attached to both the characters and the conflict in To Have and to Hoax. This one felt kind of rushed plot wise, and at the same time I don't feel like I really got, like I never really jived, I guess, with the characters in this one. So don't hate it by any means, but not as good as To Have and to Hoax. I also read The Tea Dragon Society, and that was the damn cutest thing ever. It's so cute. It's like, again, if you like Pokemon, oh, it's so damn cute. It's adorable. And the whole like dragons growing tea leaves and them doing it's so damn cute. Then I picked up Fearless by Mandy Gonzalez. I don't know why this book has such a low rating on Goodreads. I was really going in like, brace yourself, girl. Like, it's not going to be good. It's cute. It's adorable. I liked this, actually. The main character goes to New York to be the understudy of the main character in this play. and she shows up, and the theater that is putting on its performance is essentially cursed, and they kind of try and find out what exactly about this theater has cursed, and we go through, like, you remember when the whole Spider-Man musical thing, and everyone, anytime something went wrong, it made it into the news, and everyone thought the play was cursed, and, like, I don't know if people died or, like, broke legs all the time or something like that. It's kind of like that, and then the kids are trying to find out exactly what the curse is and how to solve it. It's really cute. I don't know why there was such low ratings on this one. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This was, like, bonkers good. Like, I was not expecting to be as amazing as it was. Like, I was excited for it, but still, it way outdid my expectations. It's so good. I cannot wait for the rest of the series. I hope it gets expanded. Right now, there's only 3 books on Goodreads. I hope it becomes, like, a full-blown thing the way Nevermore has. It's so good. So much potential. The main character gets this weird acceptance into this magical school that no one knows exists. It's a magical world inside of our world. And she ends up just going because it's essentially aligned to her brother who is missing. And so she shows up, and they find out she is essentially not supposed to exist. Like, the powers that she has go against all of their laws, and with the power she does have, she shouldn't be good. She's classified as, like, a danger. She's going to go, like, full Voldemort. And we kind of start exploring this world. It's bonkers good. Like, it's excellent. Oh, it's so good. It doesn't make sense that this is a debut work at all. And I picked up the Infinity Quartz by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I have been struggling, I've said this before, with YA fantasies. This I don't think is necessarily unique in the realm of YA fantasies, but it did hold my attention the whole way through. I did like it. I don't regret buying it, and I do intend to read the sequel. So that should say something. I really like the author's writing. I knew that going in, that I really liked Harley in the Sky, so this is no different. The main character is on her way to a party. I think it's high school graduation party. And she stops at a gas station to pick up alcohol on the way there. It's like there's an AI-ish system in this world. And when she's at the gas station buying alcohol, someone comes in and she ends up getting shot in the middle of a robbery, and gets set into this, like, in-between world that is kind of run by an AI, and there's this whole, like, conflict going on within it. It's very weird. Definitely very sci-fi leaning. I was not aware of exactly how sci-fi it was going to be, which that's probably why I liked it. It's definitely a YA fantasy, but it has so much sci-fi in it. Maybe that's how it kind of differentiated itself from the YA fantasy blob in my brain. Excellent book. Definitely enjoyed it. Yes. I did a quick reread of Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. This is the first book in the realm. This is one I had already read. And our main character ends up finding out she's, like, is it goblin or gnomes? I keep mixing it up. Anyways, she was raised in the human world when she's actually not human. And they're trying to find out, in the human world, there's a bunch of, like, weird wildfires and everything, which in our world, we're crocking it up to, like, climate change and all that stuff. But in reality, it's characters, faceless characters, I guess we'll say, from this magical world are messing with the human world. And we're going to try and stop it and find out why, and find out who the evil people are. Then I read A Clock of Stars, The Shadow Moth by Francesca Gibbons by Chris Riddell. I remember enjoying this, but it has been, like, what, a month? And I didn't retain, like, anything in this book. Like, nothing, I have no, like, even vague recollection summary of this. So, I know I read it, and I think I enjoyed it, but I can't, like, nothing about it stuck in my brain, unfortunately. Then I picked up The World Between Blinks, by Amy Kaufman and Ryan Grodin. I didn't dislike this book by any means. Like, I'm not mad I read it at all. But I don't think I want to continue on in this world. And I'm not quite exactly sure why, because I feel like it has a lot of elements that I normally enjoy, but it just, like, it wasn't a long book, and I think I was struggling to keep my interest held. Maybe I just didn't, I don't think the characters were particularly fleshed out. Like, they're exploring and trying to find, like, this treasure chest where their grandmother's just passed away, and kind of going to the home where the grandmother was, and there's then this, like, rift in the world. It's kind of weird concept, and I don't know that it's super well explained. And I wasn't really at any point attached to any of the characters, so it was okay. But don't think I'll continue on with the series. Then I picked up Ava Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch, and did a reread of it. It was one of the group reads in the TBR and Beyond group, so I just decided to jump in on it. Why not? Just felt like it. Again, Kiki Delivery Service vibes. The main character is damn adorable, and the sequel to it's Ava Evergreen and the Cursed Witch, I think it is, comes out in August, I want to say it is. And there's the thing in here called The Calling that's this giant storm. It's like think of it like a typhoon, I guess, that kind of pops up all over the place. They're not sure what causes it, and they need people with magic all of a sudden to like rush to this community when they find where the calling is going to target to try and use their magic to block the village from being destroyed. And we're chasing after the calling now because we want to figure out what it is and how to stop it. Then I picked up the second best haunted hotel on Mercer Street. I've never been so excited for an anti-capitalism in middle grade books. I love that that's coming in. The main character and her family run a haunted hotel with ghosts and everything. So in this world, ghosts have like a union and everything like this. And the hotel is struggling. And it is impacting their staff and their employees. And ghosts can fade essentially once their task is done, basically. So they're losing staff constantly. And then all of a sudden, think of it as if like a Best Western all of a sudden came into town and set up shop and like is literally just stealing everything, like their MO of haunted. And they just have this giant money behind them and potentially manipulating like tourist reviewers, travel bloggers and that sort of stuff. And they've got to get down to the bottom of it. And it's really cute. It definitely has an anti-capitalistic message. Picked up the next books in the Keeper of Lessity. So I did a reread of Exile. I didn't think I read it before, but apparently I did according to like several different spots. So I must have and just didn't retain it. So we're continuing on in this world with Exile. And then book 3 is Everblaze. Each book is so well named. After you read the book, you're like, oh, that makes sense. And then Everblaze is easily the best book so far. So I've read 4 of them now. Everblaze is the best book. They're all good, but Everblaze was like blew me away good, specifically about this 3rd book. Then I picked up the Fairest Kind of Love. I say this. I was going to read books 1 and 2 first to do a refresh, but then I thought I needed that. But then as soon as I started reading book 1, I was like, I know this already. I don't need it. So I just dumping the idea of rereading 1 and 2, and then just jump to book 3. And it's cute. It's such a cute series. It's technically classified as YA in several places. It's not. It's a middle grade book. It's upper end of middle grade into YA, but it's definitely middle grade for sure. And it's really cute, and the magic system is cute. And I just really like the general sentiment of the main characters, focus on her relationships and her friendships. And there is magic to it, but it is so tied around relationships, friendships, romantic, family, all that sort of stuff. It's really, really adorable. Then I picked up Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart, and I'm so disappointed I didn't love this. I had such freaking high hopes, and I was like, it's like Jamaican witches. Like, you can do so much with that. I don't know that it's anything like I've read before. But unfortunately, I read it, and then I closed it, and it went into the YA fantasy blob in my brain. So it wasn't everything I was hoping it was going to be. It's a gorgeous book. It's so pretty in person, but it just didn't stand out in my brain the way I was hoping it would. Like Raybearer, I can remember that book vividly. Legendborn, that one especially, I can remember that book vividly. But Witch Steeped in Gold, unfortunately, it just didn't have enough, differentiating itself, I guess, from the rest of the books, which is disappointing. But I'm glad to see the author also got a book deal for a middle grade novel. So maybe I'll try her middle grade stuff, because that seems to be working for me. Like, perfect example of Lauren Oliver for YA stuff just isn't for me. But her middle grade stuff seems to really hit my sweet spot. So I'll give that a shot. I don't think I'll continue on with this series, unfortunately. Then I read Made in Korea by Sarah Sook, and honestly, pleasantly surprised. I didn't go in with a ton of expectations, knowing it's a YA contemporary. They generally don't work all that well for me, but I actually really liked the characters in this. It did feel a little juvenile, and a little unrealistic. Maybe it was because of the high school I went to in Ontario, but like, the school is set up that you can get like essentially an internal business license in the school to run a business as long as you have a teacher supervising it. And then she runs like Korean beauty stuff out of her locker, because she has family in Korea who will send stuff constantly. And then another boy comes to the school, and then he essentially starts doing the same thing because his mother works for essentially a Korean business label focusing on the international market. So he gets stuff like K-pop merch all the time, and K-pop is obviously blowing up and super popular, so he becomes a direct competitor. And when you're in high school, kids only have so much money, right? So they start battling it out, and then a romance develops between them, and we get to the end. And like, it's juvenile-y, I guess, and like the way it all works out, the whole plot, and just the concept. I was like, what school? My school was always like, and like, I was like, I know, like, maybe I just went to a unique out of the box school, but I don't think I did. You weren't allowed to run businesses out of your lockers because the teachers knew exactly what the fuck you were going to sell out of your lockers, okay? Let's be real. We all know what kids are going to settle in their locker in high school. You're not going to get teacher supervision for that. Are you kidding me? Like, even now that we've legalized weed, that's not happening. So I feel like that was a little like, okay, sure. But I liked everything else essentially about it, so I feel like that kind of outweighed it. I enjoyed it. Then I read Island Queen by Vanessa Riley. This is one that it was interesting, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone by any means. There is definitely a giant trigger warning for sexual assault and slavery, obviously. It takes place over a really long time period though, and it didn't really have like a kind of a clear plot, like where are we going, what is the end game of this book, really. So I know that can frustrate some people, and it is a big book. Like, it's not like a 300-page book, it's a thick bitch, okay? So if you're someone who likes things like Outlander, or maybe The Lost Queen by Sing Pike, those sorts of books that don't have a clearly defined, like, this is the finish line, and you just kind of read it to, like, enjoy the atmosphere or get attached to the characters or see how they go through life, this is probably one that you're going to be interested in. And then the last book that I read this month, I think, was Neverseen. So I finished it off reading book 4 of the Keeper of the Lost Cities series, and I plan on continuing on with this series in July, I think I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have them on my July TBR. This was really good, but didn't outdo Everblaze. Everblaze just like blew me out of the water. It was really good. So spotlights, worst of the month. I don't know. I don't know that there was really like a worst of the month. Even like a least liked. Like, none of them I would really want to classify as least liked. So we're going to actually leave this one empty. Most surprising, I gotta go with Everblaze. Just everything that happens in this book is just so good. And like, it was just, they've all like kind of increased the quality from each book. Like, this is book 3. Book 1 was great. Book 2 was even better. But something about book 3, I've read book 4. It didn't stick with me the way that book 3 did. I'm not exactly sure why. And I wasn't expecting it. I was just kind of expecting to like the whole series kind of on equal parts. But something about this book just blew me out of the water, and I wasn't expecting it. And I think my favorite book of the month just has to go to Amari and the Night Brothers. This book was like stupid good. Like, it doesn't make any sense that this is a debut work. Well deserving of hitting the New York Times bestsellers list. I really hope they expand it to be more than just one book. It has so many elements that I enjoyed of the Harry Potter world without the wildly bigoted author. And it reminded me of little bits and pieces of kind of like the Fantastic Beasts world, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them stuff. I feel like it has elements of Nevermore. It uses like really pretty well-known tropes, and it's wildly impressive, this book especially. You know going in that someone's lying. Okay, like, you get into this world and you know someone's hiding something, and you know, like, there's this character that reminds me of, who's the character Johnny Depp plays in the movies in Fantastic Beasts? His name. Anyways, there's this villain in this world, and like, they've caught him before the plot of this book. So he is in, essentially, think of it like think of the building in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, okay? Where you go in, and like, that's where the magical services and everything are, right? That like Newt Scamander and everything goes into. And they've caught him. And so they put him in essentially this jail. And in my brain, I was thinking of in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. You know how the what's-his-face is like sitting on a chair in the jail cell, floating over this like black goo or whatever it is? or the chair. I just might, or no, he's not in the chair in the movies. It's the chair that they use to like punish people, right? Yeah. And then it's a spoiler, but like everything explodes at the end of this book. Okay, so like the whole book, the character, you're looking for her brother, you know something sketch happened, and it's attached to this other family, the Van Halen family. And like this whole time, I was like, there's something sketch about the dad. There's something sketch about the sister, especially. And they also have a missing sibling as well with her, that was supposed to be with her brother. So this whole time I was like, something's wrong. And I know there's someone's lying. And so they have to have help just with everything that happens. They have to have help. So it has to be more than one person lying. So I spent the whole book being like, do not trust a single soul. Don't trust it. Everyone's a red flag right now. There's only one character besides from Amari that I was like, she's clean. Like, she's clean in the clear. There's no way that she's evil villain, okay? It's her, like, roommate that she's supposed to be able to morph into a dragon, but hasn't been able to do it yet. And I was like, she's clean and clear. Everyone else is a suspect. And then, like, it gets to, like, the ending, like, I think it was the second or third last chapter, and I was like, okay, I can breathe. There's this big reveal, and I was like, okay, I can trust everyone. And then I got slapped down by the hand of God in the next chapter. Like, I don't know how a debut author, and a middle grade book as well, got me so, like, I was on, like, eggshells the whole book. There's these really cool challenges, the way that Nevermore has, where you kind of go, like, there's a riddle game, and you're running around the academy in teams, and, like, it's really cool, and you're all expanding on your powers, and she is kind of flagged because she has these powers that she shouldn't, and then the missing brother. There's just so much going on, and so many characters, and the whole time I just felt so uncomfortable, because I knew it felt like something was going to jump out at me, and I got to the end, and the second I relaxed, the author was like, slap. Like, it's so good. It's got so many familiar elements, but it just like went in a way I was not expecting. And the fact that it made me like, it put me on guard the whole book. And then finally, like the big reveal happens, and I was like, okay, the reveal makes sense. Like, this is what it was. It didn't have this reveal, and I was like, no, something's not right, or this wasn't big enough to have made me this uncomfortable. No, it was like, this fits, this connects all these dots that I've had flagged up this whole book. And then I just like got like pushed in front of a train, and I was like, so yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Like, I read a lot of good books this month, but like this one's like just like in a league of its own. Like, life update, May. I had my birthday in May, which was nice. I had a chill birthday. My mom sent me cupcakes, and on May 13th which is my birthday, I also got my first dose of Pfizer, which is exciting, and I'm getting my second dose in the month of June as well, because Alberta fast-tracked that, because a bunch of the province doesn't want to get vaccinated, so the ones that are getting access to the second doses earlier. And May was also Sherlock's birthday, and May was just like a chill month. Like, it was really good. I think it was like the last like month of normal pandemic-y stuff, because I have to start, honestly, I'm just disappointed. I'm gonna have to go back to work like in office by the end of July, and like I'm just sad because I really liked May. And yeah, I don't know that there was anything like super giant major. Probably have talked about it in the past video if there was, but now I'm just sitting here like, I know I have other books on my TBR to read, but I could reread Amari and the Night Brothers. That was my reading month in May. I was actually really happy with everything that I did get through. Maybe I will just go reread Amari and the Night Brothers. But yeah, in the end of it, yeah, it was a good reading month. I will link all of these books in the description box down below. I will also link all of my social media. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Stay safe, wear a mask if you still need to, get vaccinated if you can. Black Lives Matter, Asian people matter, stop attacking, all the social justice-y stuff. And please, while your attention is on the stuff right now, please read books from Indigenous authors, who are telling their stories, and support them while we try and hold the ridiculousness that is the Canadian government even vaguely accountable for the shit that they have done in the past and continue to do. So that's it. And I will see you all next week, probably for a July TBR. I should probably get on organizing that now.